Hello and welcome to Run Testers. My name is Nick and this is our full review of the Bose QuietComfort Ultra 2nd Gen for runners. So the Bose QuietComfort Ultra 2nd Gen headphones are the top earbuds within the Bose range. They sit above the QuietComfort Earbuds and they offer the best sound and noise cancellation you're going to get in a Bose earbud. The naming system is quite confusing and how it relates to predecessors, which I don't think I've tested. QuietComfort Ultra Buds, we could call them something like that throughout the rest of this review. And in the rest of this review, you're going to focus very much on their performance for running. Obviously, you're going to talk about sound quality and noise cancellation in other situations, but this is going to be a running focused review. There will be better reviews out there if you're more focused on things like the technical specs and the real intricacies of sound quality, whereas we focus a bit more on running and how these headphones will work as crossover buds for lifestyle and running use. Start with the price, which is pretty expensive. They're just a smidge under £300 or $300. They come in black, white and plum at the moment, although some new colours might come later. Bose seems to be expanding its colour range of other headphones, so maybe that will happen with the QC Ultra Buds as well. They're fairly large buds with a stem that hangs down outside the ear. They come with 3 different sizes of ear tip and 3 different sizes of wingtip. Only 3, I think there could be a few more thrown in there given the high price here. They are a bit larger than the QC earbuds too, which sit a bit more neatly in the ear, but that said, the fit has been excellent for me on the run with the QuietComfort Ultra Buds. I've used them for a lot of long runs during marathon training, going over 20 miles in them, and with the largest wingtip on, I found they've sat very securely in my ear, where they haven't really needed any adjustment at all, which is good because the touch controls do get set off if you adjust them much. And even when really sweaty, I've done actually a really long treadmill workout in them as well, lots of indoor bike rides, really sweaty stuff, and the buds have coped with all of that really well, not moved around my ear, and the fit was, for what is quite a large and reasonably heavy earbud compared to lots of those out there, it's been excellent. So I do think the fit is good for running, and that's the key feature really with a headphone like this, that obviously it's going to excel on things like sound quality and noise cancellation. The fit is great for running as well. They're also really quite comfortable buds, which you do expect from Bose. Like in general, I do tend to get a little bit irritated by headphones in some way if I wear them for too long, whether it's the ear tip digging into my ear canal or something irritating the top of my ear with the way the wing sits there, but I haven't had any of those concerns with the QuietComfort Ultra headphones. I've worn them for long periods during and outside of runs, and yeah, the fit is certainly really comfortable. You've got an IPX4 rating, which is enough for running, I would say. Like throughout my years of testing, I've always been okay with IPX4 buds in terms of their durability and resistance to things like sweat and rain. It's not as high as fully waterproof headphones, but I don't foresee any problems on that front. Then you've got touch controls on the outside of the stem, which work fine for general use. You can customize them a little bit, and they're pretty reliable. You know, when you're traveling or sitting at a desk on the run, they're not that useful. I find that you can use them, but the problem of them being set off by accidental touches, if you're adjusting something around your head or adjusting the headphones themselves, and it's just sometimes hard to use touch controls with precision during runs. If your fingers are sweaty, if it's raining, or you're just running hard, it's hard to do them. I prefer a physical button, but yeah, for the most part, they're okay. You get a pretty large case with the buds. You know, it is a pretty substantial case, quite hard to carry with you on the run, I would say, unless you're using a running belt or have pretty good shorts with storage options. But it is a case that allows for wireless charging, so if you want to do that, you now have that option. So, sound quality of the Bose QC Ultra Earbuds is very, very good, as you'd expect. It's really warm, really powerful. You get a very big soundscape with lots of detail across every track I've listened to it, across a wide range of music. Like I listen to, especially my running playlist, is pretty eclectic, because anything that just G's me up a little bit gets put onto that playlist, and I sometimes forget it's there and it comes on during a run. But yeah, you are getting really good sound quality, which you would expect from Bose's flagship earbuds. The level of detail is certainly more impressive than cheaper headphones. You get lots of clarity, no matter how high you ramp up the volume. You're not going to get any distortion or anything like that. If you're listening to a very busy track, you can pick out all the different elements that are playing very easily. You don't get a whole lot of customization in the app in terms of changing the EQ. I did have a little fiddle with it, and it makes a little bit of a difference, but overall the sound is great out of the box as well. I think if I was going to highlight anything about the sound quality, you do get a good feeling of warmth and depth to it, which works really well for the kind of music I like indie music, lots of guitar music, singer-songwritery stuff. It feels very lush and full with these headphones, and I have no complaints to it. I'm not like a big audiophile. I'm not going to really nitpick sound too much in general, but these do sound excellent, and they've got a lot of power there as well. So when you do throw on your running playlist during a hard workout and ramp up the volume, you're going to get that punch that you want. You've got the immersive mode as well on these headphones, which does drain battery a little quicker, but there are times when it really does seem to add something to music, like I say, give you even more depth depth, that more impressive sound stage. But then there are also times when I don't really notice it that much, and like I say, it does drain the battery a little bit quicker. It's not something I would notice when I'm on the run, really. If I'm listening to music at that level, it wouldn't be something that I'd really bother engaging with. The standard sound quality is great without the immersive mode turned on, so I'd probably go for that. But yeah, if you are sitting at a desk or traveling and flick it on, sometimes it does make a discernible and enjoyable difference. Moving on to the active noise cancellation and the awareness modes on the headphones. So the ANC is excellent. I think it's an area that Bose really is the market leader in earbuds, and it is going to filter out just everything when you're traveling or working or doing something like that. It really does reduce a lot of sound very effectively. And in terms of sports use, that's particularly noticeable if you're on a treadmill or on an exercise bike, where I use these headphones quite a lot because they just cancel out that noise very easily and allow you to disappear into a little bit more of a bubble when you are in that kind of indoor training mode and just trying to power through. And then when you're outside, you're probably going to use the awareness mode more, which is pretty good. Like, it does let in a lot of sound. It is a bit affected by wind. That goes for the ANC mode as well, actually, when you're outside. Like, obviously, those external mics are coming into play in some way for those modes, and you do get a little bit of wind blast, especially as the headphones are big and stick out a bit from your ears. So sometimes smaller headphones are a bit better for this, or some brands have actually done a good job of filtering out that wind noise a bit better on the run. So actually, like the Apple AirPods are quite good for that, I'd say. So when you're at like a windy track, where I often am, you are going to get hit with that wind noise on the headphones a fair bit. And the other thing you do get a bit on the run, if you're using the ANC mode in particular, is that the thudding sound of your footsteps, which I know drives some people crazy. It doesn't bother me that much. And if you're playing music, it isn't something you notice as much because the high volume means you're not hearing those footsteps quite so much. But yeah, if you listen to a podcast or something like that, you will hear those footsteps more. And in the awareness mode, which gets rid of that quite a lot, can be a bit windy if it is a very windy day. But it's not so much that it makes the awareness mode unpleasant to use or anything like that. It's just a bit more noticeable, and I would use it most of the time when outside. And then you've got that very impressive active noise cancellation when you're training indoors or just using them for general use as well. You can also actually set up your own sound modes within the partner app. So you can set up a running mode. One of the presets is running, and you can set the level of noise cancellation you want, but you can't actually turn off immersive, ANC or the transparency mode entirely, which you can do on other Bose buds, which does mean that you're always going to be draining battery at that quite high level, because with any of those engaged, they drain battery a little bit quicker than if you're able to turn them off entirely. So that was interesting, because I think you can turn that off on the QC earbuds actually. On the battery life front, you've got 6 hours of playback on the Bose QC Ultra Earbuds themselves, and that drops to 4 hours if you're using the immersive audio, and you get 24 hours of total battery life, including the case, which, like I said earlier, can be charged wirelessly. Now, this isn't the best battery life, I think it's fair to say, by any means. You are going to get significantly longer battery life from smaller earbuds even, including actually Bose's own QC earbuds. So obviously, they're a high-performance headphone. They make you have one of these modes on at all times, like transparency or ANC, so they are going to drain battery life quickly, but yeah, it's not the best. There is a quick charge mode on the headphones, which is always useful if you're a runner and realise your headphones are dead just as you're about to head out the door, but although you get 2 hours of playback from it, it is 20 minutes of charging, which isn't the quickest charging. Like, your quick charge to me means like 5 minutes of charging. You get an hour or 2 hours of playback so you can get through whatever you're about to do without worrying about your headphones dying. 20 minutes, unless it takes you a long time to tie your shoelaces or get ready for a run, you are going to be hanging around waiting for them to charge. Obviously, there's increments along that way, but yeah, it is there. It can save the day in a pinch, but it's not the best battery life you're going to find on sports headphones or non-sports headphones. Quick charge isn't the quickest either. So verdict on the Bose QuietComfort Ultra Earbuds, second gen for runners. Like, these are outstanding headphones. They are a lot better on the run than I thought they were going to be in terms of fit. With previous models from Bose of this size, the other kind of QuietComfort Ultra headphones, I did have a bit more trouble adjusting the fit, or I had to get extra large wingtips in, that kind of thing. These, twist them into place, no problems at all on the run, even throughout very long and sweaty runs. So that's great, because obviously you then have access to the excellent sound quality and ANC you get with these headphones. They're obviously among the best just general lifestyle headphones you can use because of those features, and then to have them be really comfortable and secure fitting on the run is the bonus. That means you can use them as crossover buds. You haven't got the best waterproof rating here, but IPX4 has always been fine for me with long-term use with running headphones, so I wouldn't worry too much on that front. And you certainly are getting excellent sound quality in ANC, good awareness mode too for running, with the caveat that it can be a bit windy sometimes. But yeah, all in all, an outstanding set of headphones, which you would expect given the very high price here. And given that high price, there are alternatives you can look at that will save you a bit of money whilst delivering most of the performance of these headphones. One of which would be Bose's own QuietComfort Earbuds, which are a rung below, but significantly cheaper, not only on this price, but always in sales as well, as far as I can tell. I think actually pretty good value buds, because I often see them around £130. They have a smaller design which does sit a bit more neatly in the ear. I don't think the fit of them was actually better for me than the QuietComfort Ultra headphones in terms of security on the run, but it is a really good fit, and they are lighter, smaller headphones, smaller case, slightly better battery life, a lot cheaper, and you still get really, really good sound at ANC. Like, I think when it comes to picking out the differences between them, you can notice it a little bit, especially with the ANC, but they are outstanding headphones on sound quality and ANC as well. A lot cheaper, probably the better value buy if you don't really need the absolute best in terms of sound quality. You've also got the AirPods Pro 2 as a smaller option that people might find better and more convenient to use on the run. You can carry the case with you a lot more easily. The fit of the AirPods Pro 2 isn't so good for me. They do squirm loose for me on the run. There's no wing that comes with them. You can buy third-party wings though. That does solve that problem. But yeah, they also offer really good sound, really good ANC. It's not quite as good as the Bose QuietComfort Ultra headphones on those fronts, I would say, but a fair bit cheaper, again, often in sales. And if you want sports headphones that have a more cast iron reliable fit, then the Beats Powerbeats Pro 2 do have an ear hook. They do not sound as good as the Bose headphones, I'd say, and the ANC is certainly not as good, but you got an ear hook there. They're going to stay in place. They come in jaunty colours. They are excellent sports headphones that I loved using for loads and loads of running. You still get pretty good sound quality, and you get a physical button control as well, which means they're easier to use for sports in general. They have a design that is more dedicated to sports than the Bose headphones, but these are still excellent on the run, and you get better sound and ANC, but you're paying more and you don't have the convenience or the reliability of that ear hook. But yeah, in all the key areas, the QC earbuds do really well, except battery life. They don't excel in that front, which is a key area, but they do excel on fit, sound, ANC, those kind of things. If you're a big fan of Bose products for general use and you want to know if they're also going to cross over well into running, these headphones did for me, and better than expected. The fit really was very good. That's our review of the Bose QuietComfort Ultra headphones 2nd Gen for runners. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, ring the little bell, and we'll see you next time.